What's up, guys? It's MMA Conscious here, and this is my first video I'm producing on my channel. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is my first video, so forgive me for the poor video quality, but I really wanted to talk about the UFC 303, which just happened. Okay, let's get to it. Guys, the main event was so disappointing. Like, it's truly disappointing. It's not even a joke. But it's not disappointing in the sense that Jiri lost. It's the way he lost. It's as if it wasn't even a competition. And the way he lost was not even that technical. That's what really makes it sad. Like, it makes it truly sad. Alex Pereira, he's that guy. But the way he beat Jiri, basics would have solved this problem. He didn't really force Alex Pereira to go inside his toolbox. Maybe because he was scared or because he believed in magic or whatever. Well, we will really never know. But it's lack of strategy, in my opinion, and lack of fine-tuning his skills. Jiri has the skills to punch, but his defense sucked completely. How are you gonna fight this dude and not have proper defense? And I'm not saying that. Now, I have no favorites in this fight. I like both of them. But this fight was, I believed it was going to be a very exciting fight, a very close fight. This dude fought him before. He fought Alex Pereira before. So since he fought him the first time, I believe that since he's going to fight him the second time, he now knows what he's going to, he knows what to expect. But he still entered the octagon and he still did the same mistake. And this is the truth about Alex Pereira, guys. The way he fights, it's not like he lands a lot of punches on you. He just waits. He just times you. He just waits for that timing. He just waits for that proper timing. And that's where he gets you, you know. But even the way he gets you, it's not really that deep. It's not really that complicated, okay? And it sucks that Jiri couldn't protect his face. That's the biggest issue. And guys, let's be real. In the UFC, when it comes to striking, a lot of these dudes, I don't know why, but they like to keep their hands down. And I feel like this is where boxing, anybody who's watched boxing before, anybody who's seen other martial arts, but I'm talking about boxing versus MMA. Boxing has better defense. Like, it teaches you the importance of defense. Like, I don't know what's going on with these fighters. It's like once they know how to fight, they don't care about their face. They don't care about protecting their chin. Alex Pereira was a kickboxer. So he knows how to aim for that chin. He knows how to pop that chin. Why aren't you not protecting your chin? Why? It's completely baffling to me. It's completely crazy that these guys are fighting a dude who was a kickboxer and they don't protect their face. You have to protect your face, but they don't do that. They keep their hands down. Now, I'm going to show you the first instance. Okay, guys, so this is the first instance. This was around the end of round one. Round one, I believe Jiri really was being active. You know, that's good. You know, you want to be active. You don't want to just be the dude who's, you know, pulling back, and the usual stuff, add pressure. However, what he did was so wrong. Like, his whole strategy was wrong. As I said, if you watch the interviews before the fight, Jiri said, he was feeling good, he's not going to change his strategy, and that's cool and all, but sometimes you really gotta evaluate how you're gonna fight. I feel like these dudes just enter the octagon and just move around. Of course, round one he did a lot of feints, which is cool, but that really doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of head movement. His feints were for strikes, but his face was just wide open. And when Jiri decided to close the distance around the end of round one, as you can see, that's where Alex Pereira landed that left hook and he dropped him. Look at his right arm. His right arm is all the way down there. Why is it all the way down there? Why is your chin exposed like that? I'm not a fighter yet. I'm not an expert at all. But how can you leave your most vulnerable place open like that? He knows karate, he probably knows Muay Thai, cool. But you leave your chin exposed. And closing the distance, when you're closing the distance, you can't leave your chin exposed. The moment he tried to punch Alex Pereira is the moment Alex Pereira, because he probably has better reach or better measuring of range, that's when he landed that left hook and dropped him. Okay, guys, now this is the end. This was the climax of the fight. This was during the second round. Like, technically at the beginning of the second round, Jiri's not feeling is not feeling well. Tries to fight again. He does the same mistake. His arms are very low, fighting against a guy like Alex Pereira, who's technically a kickboxer, who knows how to measure range, who is a phenomenal striker, and he knows how to aim for that head. He knows how to aim for that chin. How can you fight with such a low guard? And that's why Jiri couldn't close the distance. Jiri couldn't utilize his tools. Because he probably knows how to wrestle as well, I don't think anybody has truly tested Alex Pereira, when it comes to grappling or wrestling. But if you can't close the distance properly, your skills won't matter. Because when it comes to a fight of range, unless you're a high-level kickboxer like him, aka like Israel Adesanya, who was able to knock him out in his second fight, because he also understood the proper timing on how to strike a punch, But then again, I'm not saying Jiri is not a good fighter. He is a good fighter, but I feel like a lot of dudes in the MMA, they truly lack the fundamentals. They truly lack. Nah, let me correct myself. They don't lack. They ignore basic solutions to problems like these. Because this is making Alex Pereira look as if he's some dude who's like truly skilled. Like, we haven't truly seen Alex Pereira truly show his skill set like that, because everybody is just going towards him and getting knocked out. And this is where I'm gonna share my 2 cents. Anybody who knows boxing, anybody who's learning boxing, there's something known as the high guard. Okay, guys, this is the high guard. This is a guard which is used in boxing. Okay, now I know MMA is not boxing, so I'm not trying to say, oh, this is boxing. No, I get it. However, MMA is mixed martial arts. And since MMA is mixed martial arts, boxing is one of those martial arts. And since boxing is one of those martial arts which is used in mixed martial arts, and since the high guard is a skill, is a defensive skill, which is in boxing, it is something to be utilized. A lot of guys who are fighting don't utilize the high guard, as I said on those previous screenshots of Jiri. In his most vulnerable moments, his arms were low, making Alex Pereira look like some dude who is unstoppable. But if he had a high guard, it would have forced Alex Pereira to change his tactics, to be more creative. But in this fight, we don't see any of that. He touched Jiri's chin once, he touched it twice, game over. And this fight was truly disappointing. So if I was Jiri, I would use the high guard. Look at that picture. The dude on the right did a left hook. His entire right arm is protecting his face. If a kick was to go to the face, that high guard would probably protect his face too. You know, we train, we gain muscles in the arms, we gotta use them. So that high guard protected that dude's face in this picture from the left hook, from the hook, and it could protect you as well from a kick. But these guys don't utilize it. I don't understand why. And if Jiri wanted to close the distance and do wrestling or add some of his strikes, he would have used the high guard. He should have used the high guard. Like it's that simple. I'm not saying fighting is easy, but this was something which could have made life so much easier for him. It would have maybe forced Alex Pereira now to mix it up, you know, maybe try to use uppercuts or maybe try to hit his body because his face is covered. But since his face is wide open, Alex Pereira, he just attacked his legs, calf kicks, and then boom, face wide open. Bro, how can you fight like this? You know, how can it be like this? We didn't see multiple body shots, you know. Like in boxing, boxers know that their face is their weakest point. So that's why they try to protect their face, and that forces their opponent to land body shots so that they can lower their hand, so that they can protect their body and then attack the face. But Jiri didn't think about this probably. So Alex Pereira just had to attack his face and the fight was over, and it felt like the fight was a ripoff, and it sucks. The high guard is something which a fighter should use when fighting against opponents who know how to aim at the face. You know, this is something very simple to understand. Okay guys, I literally googled this shit. The advantages of high guard in boxing and in kickboxing. Now the third advantage is in security. We're not really talking about that. But guys, in boxing and kickboxing, the high guard protects your face. It protects your face. It basically protects your face from incoming strikes. Why is it that these MMA fighters, they don't apply the high guard? Especially when you're fighting a guy like Alex Pereira, who was a kickboxer, and he knows how to aim for the head. This doesn't make sense. And that's why sometimes you might feel like, man, sometimes you feel like there truly is magic, you know? Jiri said, oh, Alex Pereira, you know, shaman, magic, you know. I'm not saying it's a lie, but, you know, what happened in this fight might make you believe that, oh, there's really magic being applied. But in reality, no, man. You just didn't apply some basic skills which are very essential against a guy like Alex Pereira. His whole fight, his hands were down. His hands were only up when he tried to strike, or maybe when he tried to touch Alex Pereira's hands or something, but that's not how it's supposed to be. And I don't know why. Like, is it just me, or is it many fighters in the UFC who like having a low guard? It's like, and that's why these strikers are winning, you know? Especially a striker like Alex Pereira. If fighters continue having a low guard like this against a guy like him who knows how to aim for the chin and for the head with his hands and legs, who knows how to aim for the head with his strikes, he's gonna be winning all the time, and people think he's unstoppable. But it's not like you can't beat this guy. It's that you don't know how to neutralize his attacks. And one of the best ways to neutralize his attacks is applying the high guard, which will help you also to close the distance so that you can add some strikes of your own. Like, it's truly, truly sad, guys. Like, this fight was truly sad. It's not sad because Jiri lost. It's sad because of the way he lost. It's not like he lacks talent. He knows maybe how to land elbows. He knows maybe how to do spinning kicks or whatever, because he's a fighter, he's trained. But the defense aspect, these guys are truly failing. They're truly failing when it comes to defense. They're truly failing. It's not a joke. Against a well-seasoned striker. When they fight against, when the same guys fight each other who don't know how to strike, who don't know how to aim for the head, you know, it's all fun and games. But when it comes to somebody like Alex Pereira, you really have to apply the defense which is effective against his fighting style. It's not a joke, it's not a game. But these guys are not doing that. Low guard, Jiri keeping his hands down. Why is it like that? Do you automatically just keep your hands down just because you know how to fight? Fighters need, I feel like a lot of fighters, we have to start developing this discipline of keeping our hands up. Keeping your hands up is what is gonna save you from all these head kicks, head KOs, knockouts by the chin to the chin. We need to see more body shots. We need to see somebody actually struggle to get a hit to the head, because your head is your most vulnerable part. Of course, there's other vulnerable parts, but in terms of MMA, you can't really attack somebody by the balls or whatever, or poke his eyes. But you can't. But the most vulnerable part, which could really end the fight completely, especially when it comes to striking, is the head. So that's the thing which needs to be protected the most. This is my thoughts on this fight. This is my first video. If you have any comments, you can share them below. If you have any thoughts, share them below. This is my first video. I know it's poor quality, but I just wanted to share my thoughts. Thanks for watching, or thanks for listening.